friends, today we deal with Pygmalion. It was written by George Bernard Shaw. He was a playwright, novelist and critic. He was born in Dublin in 1856. J.B. Shaw wrote Widowers' Houses, Candida, You Never Can Tell, Man and Superman, Back to Methuselah, St. John, Heartbreak House, The Philanderer, Mrs. Warren's Profession, Caesar and Cleopatra, and so on. And one thing you have to remember is the dark lady of Shakespeare's sonnets. You don't be confused with the dark lady of the sonnets and Shakespeare's sonnets of the dark lady. Next we have to note the first play of J.B. Shaw. It was Widow's House. It was written in 1892. He was awarded Nobel Prize for Literature in 1925. He was an active member of Fabian Society, which was founded in 1884. St. John and Caesar and Cleopatra are his historical plays. That's all about J.B. Shaw. Next, Pygmalion. As I told you earlier, Pygmalion is his romantic comedy. It was first produced in 1913. The main characters of the play are Professor Higgins, Eliza Doolittle, Mrs. Pierce, Colonel Pickering, Freddie, Alfred Doolittle, etc. The first English production was staged in 1914 with Mrs. Patrick Campbell, for whom the part was written as Eliza Doolittle. Pygmalion has 5 acts. We have to note the number of acts in each and every play. The play was named after an aberrant Greek mythological character, Pygmalion. Pygmalion fell in love with one of these sculptors when they came to life. Also, the central character of the novel, Professor Higgins, is based on the phonetician and scholar of Old English, that is Henry Sweet. Pygmalion turns on the claim made by Professor Higgins, a professor of phonetics, to his friend Colonel Pickering, that he could pass off a Cockney flower girl, Eliza Doolittle, as a duchess by teaching her to speak properly. Higgins is asked for lessons and he takes her as his pupil. In the course of her learning, she becomes not merely as a presentable lady but a beautiful woman of increasing sensitivity. To Higgins, however, she is just a successful experiment. We can go to the first act of the play. A group of people run to get shelter from the rain. Mrs. Ainsford Hill and her daughter Clara are there. Her brother Freddie humps into Eliza Doolittle, a flower girl, whose flowers drop into the mud, which she needs for a living. Colonel Pickering then comes that way and she tries to sell him flowers. Someone then informs that a man is writing everything she says. It is Henry Higgins. He is a professor of phonetics. Henry Higgins and Colonel Pickering become friends. Higgins has planned to go to India to meet Pickering, but he has come from there to meet Higgins. Professor Higgins then says that he can pass off Eliza, the flower girl, as a duchess by teaching her to speak properly. The next act, Professor Higgins demonstrates his phonetics lessons to Colonel Pickering. Eliza comes along with Mrs. Pierce, the housekeeper. Eliza tells him that she will pay for the phonetics, but she shows no interest in her. At that time, she reminds him of his boast. Pickering suddenly makes a bet with him on his claim and says that he will pay for her lessons if she succeeds in learning. Alfred Doolittle is her father. He comes with the only purpose of getting money out of Higgins, who has no interest in Eliza, in a paternal way. He sees himself as a member of the undeserving poor and means to continue being undeserving. The illiterate is very aggressive in nature. When she sticks her tongue out at him, he tries to attack her, but Pickering comes there middle to avoid that. Higgins realizes that he has got a difficult job in hands. Next act, Mrs. Higgins sits in the room of her house. She is not at all interested with her husband's attempt to teach Eliza. She entertains the Ainsford Hills, her visitors. Eliza then enters and talks about the weather and her family in a beautiful and modulated tone. She talks about her secrets, that her aunt was killed by relatives, and says that gin had been mother's milk to his aunt. She also says her father was always more cheerful after a goodly amount of gin. Then she goes out. Higgins asks her whether she is going to walk across the park, to which she replies, "Walk. Not bloody likely. The Ainsford Hills also live there." Mrs. Higgins says that Eliza is not a presentable and is very concerned about what will happen to her. This is all about Act 3. The next acts and some sample questions we can discuss in another session. Thank you for watching.